Hi, everybody, and welcome to the webinar 2021 Marketing Workshop, Tactics and Tools to Focus on that Generate the Best Digital Results. My name is Steve, your host for today, and I'm joined by Jade Benson, one of Surefire Local's incredible digital marketing strategists. Two quick housekeeping items. In case you're unfamiliar with Surefire Local, our mission is to help you make online marketing easy by providing your business with the next generation platform that's available everywhere you need it, across devices and browsers. So we provide you the software that you need to attract customers and grow profits efficiently, all from one easy place. And yes, this webinar will be recorded. You'll receive an email later today with a link to watch both the on-demand replay and click through this presentation deck. So feel free to sit back, listen, and take it all in while you're here with us. And you can engage with us at any time using the questions tab, which you should see in the GoToWebinar control panel. And then you can also share any feedback by emailing marketing@surefirelocal.com. So if you've joined any of our webinars with Jade in the past, you'll know how amazing she is at taking really complex topics and breaking them down and really simplifying these concepts to help you understand what's the most essential elements to focus on. Jade has put together a great presentation for you with a lot of tips and actions you can take to get the best digital results from your marketing and advertising this year. So with that, Jade, I'm going to pass things over to you.
Got it. Thanks. We're really excited to have you guys here today. We have a really good presentation for you. We are going to be discussing how to put your marketing strategy together, what sort of things you should be looking for and monitoring, and exactly what does a marketing strategy mean, how to make sure it's optimal. So let me go to next. So for today's agenda, we will be defining goals, identifying hurdles, crafting your marketing budget. Also, we're going to talk about tools that you can use to increase your organic traffic and your leads. And then third, we'll talk about strategies that increase paid search traffic and leads. So first, a quote from Yogi Berra: "If you don't know where you're going, you'll end up somewhere else." So what's important is that things are constantly changing, month to month, quarter to quarter, year to year. We've gotten a lot of great information from working with customers like you guys, and also you guys need information from us and our insights. So what we want to do is work together in a partnership so that we both can make sure that we understand what's ahead of us in this year, what best practices we can take with us to make sure that we are setting ourselves up for success. So what are my goals for 2021? These are a few important questions you want to ask yourself in regards to your goals. Are they growing? Do you want to grow in this past year? Are you looking to stay the same? Are you going to be changing your strategy based off of your learnings of 2020? Are you changing your strategy based off of what you anticipate for 2021? And what hurdles do you need to anticipate? What did you learn in this past year? Are there some things that you wish you would have been a bit more prepared for? How can you do better in this year? And then also, what is the best way to determine my marketing budget? How do you determine how much money to set aside for this venture? How important is it that you invest heavily in this? And what does that mean? So first, defining your goals. So you want to put your business under a microscope and ask yourself hard questions. What are my realistic 2021 goals based on how I performed in 2020, what my current team setup looks like and what their abilities are, my ability to scale or hire experienced workers at the roles that I need? You want to be taking an overall look at your business and figuring out what pain points and opportunity points do you have so that you could set yourself up for success. Here are a few other questions you want to be asking yourself. What are your revenue targets for 2021? Similar? Are they growing? Are they staying the same? Are you changing based off 2020? Are you changing based off of what you anticipate for 2021? Are there products or services to add or emphasize based on opportunity, margin, etc.? Do you want to expand to new or put more focus on existing territories? What does expansion look like for you? How feasible is an expansion? Is it a good opportunity? And how can you better serve the area you're currently targeting? Will more brand awareness increase lead flow or produce higher quality leads? How much have you thought about brand awareness? What avenues are you taking to make sure that you're placing a lot of effort in this realm? And then what avenues can you start taking, or what's an opportunity for you to look into in order to increase that brand awareness? And then also, how will you address seasonality this year? 2020 was a wild one. So now that we are in a new year and we have these new learnings, how are you anticipating seasonality to affect your business? And how are you taking a proactive approach to react to that? Another Yogi Berra quote: when you come to a fork in the road, take it. So what you don't want to do is be waiting for perfect and complete information in order to make a move. You want to make an informed decision, as informed as possible, but especially in a time period like this, everything won't be so cut and dry. You want to make sure that you have as much information as necessary and that you are making moves so that you are not stagnant, waiting on information that almost never will be complete, and that you are moving in the direction that takes your company to the successful heights that you want it to be. So, when we talk about anticipating hurdles, what did we learn? 2020 was a real anomaly of a year. We learned a ton as a marketing company regarding how to react in situations like this and how consumers behave in situations like that. The COVID-19 pandemic rocked our world, and not even just with business, but in our personal lives as well. There's a ton that we learned throughout that year. So we saw that there was significant effects to supply and demand, and maybe you have too. Lead time has changed as well. Staffing may have changed for your company. Maybe there could have been some layoffs, or maybe there was a need to expand team to make sure that you can serve all that is possible. Stress was pretty much the theme of 2020 for a lot of us. And that's not even just in regards to business, but in personal lives as well. We're merging our home office with our actual office, and a lot of times, and that comes with its own stressors as well, especially if you have little kids running around. So even outside of your business, this was something that we learned as well that also had an effect on how people were navigating to companies' website. You may have noticed some increased product costs from your suppliers. Consumer behavior shifts was something that we saw a lot. Trends that we were sort of used to seeing made very big changes. Due in part to stay at home orders and people being very cautious over who they allow in their homes. You may have noticed those changes as well. Financial strain. So maybe this put a lot of pressure on your business. Maybe there was a time period where lead flow significantly slowed down and it was really kind of down to the wire. We've noticed this, and it was not uncommon, obviously, because a lot of it wasn't really possible to anticipate something this big and widespread. Um, but also, the important part is that we learned the importance of digitizing your business. Having your business digital presence strong is something that carries you through times like this. And while we don't anticipate and we don't hope for another COVID-19 pandemic, we definitely want to make sure that we are set up to go in the case of any other thing that happens that kind of throws a monkey wrench in our plans, but that we know that we're set up for success anyways. So our digital presence does not falter during that time period. Here's a quote from Jimmy Dean: I can't change the direction of the wind, but I can adjust my sails to always reach my destination. Having a marketing strategy in place is very beneficial, but it can be a bit difficult. Things are changing constantly. Best practices change, opportunities change. A lot of things become available that weren't available before. So you have to constantly be on board, engaged, so that you are on the precipice of that change instead of trying to follow up after it and after your competition has already made the adjustment. The great thing about working with a company like Surefire Local is that we make sure that you are on the front end of this change. We let you know what's coming and what's ahead. We'll also be letting you know a bit of that in this webinar. And hopefully, you're able to learn a bunch of things and a bunch of actionable items that you can take with you, start implementing today, and make sure that you have an optimal marketing strategy that sets you up for success in 2021. So, how do you determine your marketing budget? How much money should you put aside for this? How important is it? And how much does your budget make an impact on the actual success of your marketing strategy? So, we want to break this down into a few easy formulas so you can determine what your marketing budget should be. First, you want to decide what your new customer goal is. How many customers do you need to get to meet your annual revenue goal? Here's how you can find that: take your revenue goal, divide it by the value of the average job that you have. And what you get from that is the number of new customers you need in order to reach that. Once you have that number, you then want to go in and start figuring out your lead generation goal. How many leads do I need to meet my new customer need? So take that number from before, the number of new customers, divide that by your average conversion rate. Once you get the answer to that, you then have your lead generation goal. You now have how many leads you need in order to meet that new customer need. Once you have that, then we get to your annual marketing budget. How much should you be spending on marketing to reach your revenue goals? So take that lead generation goal, multiply it by your average cost per lead. There is your marketing budget for 2021. So, step two, what tools are most effective to help me hit my goals? One, organic, always number one. And that's going to be in the form of content, Google My Business, your review strategy, your directory listing, so on and so forth. The reason why we have organic listed as number one is that that is generally the top driver of leads for not only our clients, but those companies that are operating within your vertical as well. Um, your organic search functions, or your organic search strategy, is one of those things that's a marathon and not a sprint. It takes time, consistency. It's a slow and steady move to win the race, but it's one of the most powerful tools to get leads generated. So you want to make sure that you are putting as much effort as possible in this particular channel. Then you have paid ads. Paid ads could fall in the form of Google ads or pay-per-click ads, Google local service ads, Bing ads, Yelp and Facebook ads. This is more of the sprint instead of the marathon. This helps you get it target a bit more, helps get you leads a bit quicker, but this isn't an either or thing. Your paid ads performance and your strategy largely depends on the success of your organic search strategy. You don't want to be placing emphasis on one and not the other. They work in complement to each other. And lastly, when we're talking about your marketing strategy, what trends are you seeing? What tools are you using? And then what is your mindset surrounding your strategy and how you want your company to perform? So let's talk a bit more about organic search, content, Google My Business, review strategy, directory listings. So, what are some things if that you could be doing right now that do not require money but are super powerful in making sure that you are increasing your organic search traffic? One is creating content with location signals as a part of the copy and the code. We do this through a tool called GeoJuice that our clients have access to, which allows them to check in at the point of service, provide Google with a picture, text information about what job was completed and why, and when that check-in is created, it also sends out a location signal to Google to let Google know this is what's relevant to me and this is the area that it's relevant in. When you have things like that going, it helps you to easily show off your work, your workplace, your team, your customers, and their experience. It has hyper local, tasty data that Google loves to crawl. You want Google to be crawling your page because the more times you check in, the more Google indexes that page or essentially stores it in their file cabinet, which then means that as people are searching for things that are relevant to you, there's more of a chance for Google to remember that, so to speak, and use you as a search result, which means higher ranking, more traffic, and hopefully that translates into more leads. Another great thing about this GeoJuice tool and any location signal tool is that it helps to reach the Google ranking factors: recency, frequency, proximity. Recency, how recent can I see some activity on your page? Frequency, how often am I seeing this page be updated? How dynamic is this page? And then proximity, how long or how close are you to where people need you? So also you want to be creating content. Content is king. Content is the number one ranking factor. And when we say content, we're talking about blogs, images, social media posting. If you're not creating consistent content, it's going to be really hard for Google to find you. You do not want to be hidden from Google. Being hidden from Google means being hidden from your prospective customers, which of course is the last thing that you want. Your social sites comprise your local business's digital footprint. So you want to make sure that's consistent. You want to make sure your brand is consistent across all platforms, but wherever people find you, you want them to have a good experience. You want them to be able to find all the information necessary in order to make a decision to reach out. And sometimes, if they aren't in the market to buy, you still want to have something there for people who may not exactly be searching for someone to schedule an appointment with at that moment, but you still want to establish yourself as an authority in your space, as an expert in your space. So when that customer is in the market to buy, they're reaching out to you because they remember you, you're top of mind. You gave them some information that maybe your competitors haven't thought of. Pictures are also content. So you want to be publishing to Instagram. You want to be publishing to your Google My Business. You can do all that through our local marketing platform as well. This helps to get your pictures to the second largest search engine, which is Google Images. Google search engine being number one. So this is the way that you're able to take over all of the platforms that Google gives us to show up and make sure that your prospective customers are finding you first. Google My Business is also super important. It is the anchor to your digital footprint. And in a lot of ways, it is now your new homepage. Some years ago, when Google My Business wasn't quite a thing or wasn't as developed, there was a need to go to the website to get all the information necessary in order to be able to make a phone call or to be able to understand what it is a company does. Now that we have things such as Google My Business that not only provides your name, address, phone number, but also can provide some reviews, also can provide pictures, Google My Business posts, question and answers. A lot of people are reaching out to Google My Business without even going to the page, which is counted as a zero-click search, which we'll go into a little later. So you want to make sure that your Google My Business is optimized as possible. When you work with us, we optimize your Google My Business, but it's constantly changing. Google is constantly entering new fields where they require information, but you also want to be moving in the direction of having content consistently on your site. Having pictures being posted, having Google My Business posts being posted, having question and answers being updated. Um, the name of the game, especially in 2021, is if Google is asking for information, we give it to them. Same thing for your directory listings. NAP consistency, name, address, phone number is super important because Google compares your Google My Business listing to 30 other online directories. When you work with Surefire within our platform, you are able to manage all of these listings, including your Google My Business from the same area. So you're not signing on to millions and millions of places. But if you aren't currently working with something like that, it is super, super important that the information across those platforms are consistent. And as you're updating Google My Business, you're updating those as well. Google ranks businesses higher that have correct and consistent NAP across the internet. And also, you're able to easily publish information, including pictures, to 60 plus online directories through that marketing platform. So if you haven't bought on a tool like this, if you've been thinking, how do I increase the amount of activity that's happening across my digital presence? This is one of the main ways you can do that. Also, chat boxes are super important now. We found that there is on average, a 15% increase in converting website visitors to leads when there is a chat box present. The reason being is that a lot of people now, when they are searching or searching for answers for services that they need, they want to be able to talk to someone quickly or at least get answers to their questions quickly. Having a chat box there allows your customer to ask questions, get pretty much answers. And if there's something that's a bit more complicated to answer, they have the ability to reach out to you. But a lot of times, if they're asking about pricing and scheduling, you want something that's there for them to know without even reaching out to you in case the customer is in a position where they can't call or they can't send a message or they don't have time to do so. You don't want to miss that customer and have them forget when they leave your page. And speed counts. People want information faster and faster. This is a way to accommodate that. Your reviews and your strategy is priority, or your strategy surrounding reviews is priority number one. A positive online reputation helps searchers trust businesses, convert searches into leads, and boost local search rankings. We've also found that 48% of consumers only pay attention to reviews written within the past 2 weeks. So that's why it's super important to make sure that you have a dynamic strategy when it comes to your reviews. How often are you sending review requests out? How often are you seeing reviews come in? You want for anytime someone comes to your page that they're able to see recent reviews and not the last review wasn't 7 to 8 months ago. The average local business has 39 reviews on Google My Business, and 61% of businesses have a Google average star rating of 4 to 5 stars. So not only do you want to be monitoring how many reviews do you have in total, but you also want to understand the overall sentiment of your reviews. What are people saying? How are they experiencing your business? And how, if possible, can you make any changes to make sure that you are always on the upper end of those star ratings? What needs to take place to make sure that you are getting star ratings, getting 4 and 5 star reviews, and hopefully more 5 star reviews than anything else. Then lead tracking. You want to be monitoring your leads, especially now. What we have noticed in this new year and also in 2020 is that a lot of spam companies have picked up their efforts as well. You want to constantly be monitoring this and have things in place to mitigate those issues in case they arise. But even aside from that, you just want to know what people are looking for when they come to you. Um, Having an understanding of what leads are coming in and what they're about also lets you know what is SEO optimized on your page, what has more of an opportunity. Maybe there's some jobs that you wish you would get a bit more of. Not having those leads coming in could be indicative of an opportunity to increase the way that we are positioning that on the page. Obviously, if you work with Surefire, that is something that you have complete access to. We have within our marketing platform a lead tracking system where you can not only go back and look at your web form submissions and people who have reached out, but you can also listen to your phone calls, make notes, understand what it is people are calling for. And in the case that you do have those spam calls, you have a digital marketing strategist you can talk to who can work with their team in order to mitigate that issue for you. So until you have a tool like that, you want to make sure that you are calculating your ROI by understanding who's reaching out to you, how many are actually following through, so that you know when there's opportunity for improvement. Here's a quote from Arnold Palmer. It's a funny thing, the more I practice, the luckier I get. Um, Having a marketing strategy is a bit like having a gym membership. You can buy a gym membership, um, but if you sit at home or if you go in the gym and just stand in the front, your body's not changing, your endurance not changing, your stamina's not changing, nothing's changing. You're essentially there. Sitting in a garage is not going to make you a car. Same thing with your marketing strategy. While you can implement a lot of changes, or maybe you can start working with a marketing company so you can better understand it. If you don't work, neither will it. So you want to understand what it is that you should be doing, what tactics can you start doing right now, and what should you be doing on a weekly, monthly, daily basis in order to support that marketing strategy. So now let's talk about paid ads. We'll talk about Google ads, Google local service ads, Bing, Yelp, and Facebook ads. So paid ads, as we talked about before, complement your organic tactics, not an either or, definitely an and. And also your paid ads performance is really dependent on how well you are performing organically. So let's say you guys are really, really rocking and rolling with your organic strategy. You have tactics in place. You are monitoring things. You have daily, monthly, quarterly tasks that increase the amount of traffic coming through this channel. Now is a great time to start paid ads. So that can fall into a number of categories: pay per click or pay per lead. Pay per click is synonymous with pay per click ads or Google ads, but also who follows this model: Bing ads, Facebook ads, Yelp ads. The great thing about pay-per-click ads is that it increases brand awareness, but also as a lead generating tool for you. It puts your ads right in front of the people who are searching for you or your services. So having an ad strategy in place helps to increase that search page dominance. Not only are you populating in the map pack, not only are you populating on those organic search listings below that, but you're also at the top of the page next to, or at the top of the page listed where the ad is right next to that listing, and you're at the opportune spot. Facebook ads help you to target users who fit your ideal customers, and your Yelp ads are part of a very tight knit community, and it helps also with your organic traffic. What's relatively new is Google local service ads, which is a pay per lead model instead of pay per click. This also helps to put your ad right in front of people searching for you. But what's really interesting about pay per click, or what's really interesting about local service ads, is that now this pay per lead model, which is relatively new, essentially how that works is if someone calls through your local service ad, it goes through a tracking number. Same thing as if they were calling you. There would be no difference on your end. Only you would hear when you pick up the phone call that it is a local service ads call. In the case that they are calling for something that doesn't have to do with you, maybe it's not a service you provide, or maybe it's spam, what you can do is go in, dispute that lead with Google. They listen back to that call. They credit you if it's something that was faulty or something that did not have to do with it. Um, I think that this is a really, really good way. If you haven't been introduced to paid ads, or maybe you haven't tried paid ads, this is a really good way to get your feet wet, understand what Google paid ads are, and have it in a way where you can kind of have more control over who's navigating to you, what you're being charged for. Local service ads works in complement to PPC really, really well, and I'm going to show you why. But if you want to know where to start, I think Google local service ads is a great place. So your paid search results, the benefit of having paid search is that you are populating on the top of the page. That is a really opportune spot because a lot of people aren't going all the way down to page 2, page 3, page 4 to figure out who to go with. So you want to be the first person that catches their eye. And in the case that you are also making sure that your organic search strategy is in place, not only will you be populating in the Google ads, but you also will be populating in those organic results spots as well. This helps create search engine results page dominance, which is what you want. So you understand, or Google understands what it is you do, and that people can find you easier. So here's what local service ads look like. If you see this ad, same day service, $75 off, that is a pay per click ad, Google pay per click. Right above that, within this red box, are Google local service ads. So they are at the very top of the page. You'll see the Google Guarantee badge that comes with being a local service ads participant. There is a background check process that comes along with this setup, which allows you to get this Google Guarantee badge. But your reviews are present, and people are able to navigate directly to you. When they click on this listing, they're also able to get a lot more information to allow them to make the decision to reach out. The fact that this is at the very top of the page and pushes things a bit down a little bit more is one of the reasons why it's one of the best opportunities to start now. You want to make sure that in addition to your organic search listings, that you are also having a paid search strategy in order to occupy these top spots and establish yourself as an authority on this page. So, why should I invest in paid advertising? First and foremost, it can help you get more leads. This helps to increase the number of people who contact your company instead of your competition, sets you apart. Second, it's very targeted and granular. You're able to target people who are interested in your services, who are actually in your area, and are actively searching for your business during your business hours. It also helps you to increase brand awareness. So it helps local people recognize your company, understand the services you provide, and also have positive associations with it. And then four, it is easily tracked and changeable. You can keep track of what's working and what isn't. Based on those results, I can easily pivot to target the right people who will result in sales. Working with Surefire Local within our local marketing platform, there is a portion of the platform that is dedicated to advertising. If you start advertising with us, you have full visibility into what that is. We pull in information such as impressions and clicks and cost per leads and total spend. You're also able to see the breakdown of your actual campaigns and how they're performing. If there is a service that you're trying to move away from, or a service that you're trying to get more traffic to, your paid ads are easily changeable in order to adjust to those requests. So here are some statistics from industry leaders about paid ads. For every $1 spent on Google Ads, businesses earn an average revenue of $2 from Google. WordStream says 46% of the total clicks go to the top three paid advertising options. That could be local service ads to PPC below. Unbound says PPC visitors or pay-per-click visitors are 50% more likely to purchase something than organic visitors. So you want to make sure that you are populating in both spots. You don't want to leave your organic search strategy to the wayside. You definitely want to make sure that you are also having tremendous effort in that front. But having the PPC running as well not only helps you to dominate that search page, but it also helps to attract customers like this who are looking to see who has these PPC listings, who's trusted by Google. Here's where I want to spend my money. Google also says search ads increase brand awareness by as much as 80%. So ask yourself two simple questions. One, do you have a plan for attracting all the leads you will need to reach your revenue goals? And when you're thinking about that, think about how you're going to increase brand awareness. How do you get your business in front of the right people? And what needs to happen in order to entice them to click? Second, based on your expected marketing budget, do you have room to budget for ad spend? Based on how much you want to be spending to achieve your revenue goals, do you have room in your budget to try paid ads? Obviously, your budget is super important here. You don't want to spend money you do not have because it's something that is also going to take time to perform. So you want to make sure that it's something that you have the money available to invest in. But don't be shy with this. If you have the ability to increase your budget, always a good idea, especially in the form of PPC ads, where your performance largely has to do with the amount of wiggle room Google has. You give Google wiggle room by increasing that budget and giving them the opportunity, or your campaigns the opportunity, to get as many keywords as possible, to get as many clicks as possible without shutting off in the middle of the month. If an opportunity does not, build a door. So a lot of creating your marketing strategy is definitely going to have to do with you paving the way for your company, and maybe even companies within your area. You may be doing some things that your local businesses just aren't doing just yet. You have to, though. That is something that is going to set you apart. It's something that's going to show Google that you're a business that can be trusted with more visibility. And it's also something that's going to set you apart from the competition. So if you haven't thought about a marketing strategy, if you just sort of been winging it and hoping that people will navigate to your page, now is the year to get a bit more detail, a bit more purposeful, a bit more intentional with your marketing strategy and how you market your business. So if you already are using paid ads, here's how you continue to optimize for 2021. So you want to be taking a proactive approach always. Reactive approaches look like this, and you may have noticed it either within your business or your competition around you. Businesses are probably a bit more hesitant to spend on advertising, not knowing what the future holds. 2020 was a bit rough. There were a lot of things that happened that no one could have anticipated. So a lot of companies are moving in fear in this year, and they're pulling back on a lot of advertising that they may have had set up in anticipation for something else to happen and something else to go wrong. They could be reluctant to bring on and implement new tools. Maybe they need some new tools to make things a bit easier or a bit more efficient, but they don't necessarily want to spend the money to bring that on just yet. They're reconsidering expanding their budget until times are better. Sometimes the budget is there to expand, but people again are operating in fear and saying, hey, I don't know what this future holds. I'm just going to hold back here and justify every single decision I make to its full capacity before I make any move. While this is a really understandable approach, especially after the year we had, it's one of the approaches that are going to land you at the bottom of that page. You don't want to do that. You want to hit the gas when everyone else is backing off. Think about it when your customers or your competition is pulling back and saying, "Hey, I'm a little too scared to be we're occupying in this space." They're leaving a piece of the market share pie on the table. Pick it up. You want that to be yours. So when people are pulling back, they are leaving customers there for you to gain. So hit the gas, invest in new channels and opportunities. actively review what's working and what isn't. And if you're working with us, meet with your DMS at least once a month to strategize, understand the performance, anticipate what's coming next, and decide which actions we need to take in order to increase our propensity to be successful. Warren Buffett says, price is what you pay, value is what you get. So having a marketing strategy in place, an effective one that is going to separate you from your competition, it's going to cost money. It's going to take time. It's going to take money. So you want to have that set aside, but look for places that you are not just paying money, but you're getting value. You're getting bang for your buck. Um, when you have a paid ad strategy or a marketing strategy or a marketing strategy in place, that is adding value to your business in the form of lead generation. So you want to give as much love to it as you want it to give back to you. So now let's talk about marketing strategy. Let's talk about trends, tools, and your mindset. So, how do we prepare for what's next? We break that down into three stages: planning, preparing, executing. So, plan your marketing budgets and activities for the year. One, you want to use that formula to figure out what your marketing budget is. How much money do you need to set aside for that? Two, plan your promotional calendar in advance. Do you have any promos running? Do you have any discounts for your customers? How are you going to market that? How are you going to make sure your customers know that it's available? Three, get yourself and your team on a schedule with utilizing the Surefire platform and stick to it. So you want to stick to a schedule of, we're going to go through our leads in this on this day. We're going to update pictures through here this day. We're going to update blogs. We're going to update social posts. We're going to monitor our analytics on this day. There is a plethora of things that you can do within the platform that not only help you understand your performance, but also can help you understand your opportunities. You want to be in there regularly so that when you are meeting with your strategist, you both are on the same page, and you already know some things that you want to try, or maybe some opportunities that you have in front of you. Schedule a solid date and time every month with your DMS and be there. We know sometimes things come up and things get a little bit hectic. There may need to be a reschedule. Not a problem. Always can accommodate with you. But what you don't want to do is go months and months and months not meeting your strategist, not really knowing what's going on, not really knowing what new opportunities are in place. So whenever possible, each month, sit down with your strategist, understand what's happening and what you need to do. Prepare. You want to prepare the tools you have and add in tools you need. Load up on monthly and quarterly promotions in advance in the platform. Pre-schedule social and blog posts, or you can have us do it for you. And work with your DMS to explore adding or expanding paid ads so you can stay ahead of your competition. Then you want to execute. Launch into 2021 with your best tools and people at your disposal. So actively use your Surefire platform daily for making leads, and checking in on the to-dos. Make sure you and your team are using GeoJuice and using it optimally when you visit jobs. Make sure that as you have a GeoJuice check-in, you are giving a full-scale text into what was happening. What did the customer call for? What job was implemented? What brands, colors, products did you use? This not only helps your customers get a real well-rounded idea of what it's like to work with you, but it also helps Google understand what it is you do and where you do it, so that when people are searching in your area, Google knows that you're relevant. Review your analytics for both your organic and paid advertisements. You can do this with our platform. If you don't currently use the platform, you want to still be on top of this. You want to make sure that you understand what Google is saying about your analytics, your traffic, and what opportunities do you have to increase that. And then lean on your DMS to help you optimize your marketing plan. Meet with your DMS or your strategist each month so that you understand where in your marketing strategy you are, what needs to be tweaked, if anything, and how do you keep going and making sure you're successful in this year. So, what are the 2021 trends? Zero click searches is something that is relatively new, but is something super popular that we are seeing happening. So, 2019 marked the first time that half of all searches on Google resulted in no click through to a website. 2020 saw that trend grow about 55%, grow to about 55% of searches finding that what they needed right on the Google search results page with no need to actually click through a website. A lot of times, this is in regards to Google My Business, where a lot of your company information and what is necessary in order for your customers to have enough information to make a decision, it's present on that platform. So you want to make sure that you are constantly making efforts to make sure it's as optimized as possible. The benefit of working with Surefire is that when you build a website with us, we keep Google in mind. So just because zero-click searches is something that is super popular, and that Google My Business is something that is increasing in its importance, it does not mean you want to leave your website to the wayside. You want to make sure that you also have a strategy going with making sure your website is SEO optimized and that there's constant content going on there. We do this for you at Surefire Local if you let us. So Surefire built website is Google friendly by design, and it results in backlinks. Content, a growing website is a healthy website. It's a dynamic website. So you want to consistently be creating blog content, and that helps to create more links. Social media sites, consistently creating social content gets indexed by Google faster, it creates links, and increases user interaction on social sites. This is a strong signal to Google that they need to trust you with more visibility and more customers. Advertising, Google ads plus Google local service ads complement each other. They complement your marketing mix, and they capture valuable real estate on the Google search results page. And lastly, your Google My Business listing. Super important to optimize that. You're able to create content for your Google My Business listing via reviews, review responses, Google My Business posts, question and answers, pictures. So you want to make sure there's constant content going there. All of this can be done within the Surefire Local Marketing Platform. Visual search. So, did you know that the second largest search engine after Google.com is Google's image search engine? Major drivers of visual search are mobile devices, which comprise 50% of all searches, and a majority of mobile searches have local intent. Therefore, you really need to be visual. A really great way to do this, our GeoJuice tool, but there are millions that you can. So you want to show off your work. You want to show off your team, your brand. Keep it organized, and you can assess all of this through SLMP or our marketing platform. Video content is also really, really great. It's the easiest way to create rich content that will quickly be indexed by Google, and it takes up a large portion of the search results page, adding to that search results page dominance. So you're able to upload to your platform gallery, your YouTube channel, your website, your social media sites, and your Google My Business listing, all from your marketing platform. And images. You want to add images to the Surefire Local Marketing Platform gallery, publish images to your social media sites through the platform, and also your Google My Business listing. And you can use GeoJuice to do the same. Every time you create a GeoJuice check-in, you also should be including a picture that gives people an idea of what kind of work was being done in addition to the caption that you provide. Those pictures are also super important and are also indexed by Google. Speed. You have to be fast across many different business touch points. Not everyone is going to find you through Google My Business. Not everyone is going to find you through your website. Not everyone is going to find you through anything else. You want to make sure that when people come to your website or when people are navigating to places where you populate, that speed is something that is accounted for and accommodated. So with your website needs to be fast. And mobile optimized. If you build it with us, we have you covered on these fronts. You want to make sure that even your responses are quick. So Google is measuring response time via your Google My Business and your local service ads. So as soon as a lead comes in, if you aren't able to talk to them at the time that they call, you want to be responding as quickly as possible. That adds to your visibility as well. And then adding chat to your website to squeeze more leads from your visitors. Again, there are many people who are utilizing chat as a way to get answers a bit quicker than sending off a form, or maybe they don't have time to call the actual company and ask the question. This is a great way to catch those before they go off your page and find another company that is accommodating for that. So you want to invest in an integrated marketing tool like the Surefire Local Marketing Platform. Um, Of course, we think this is the best platform for you. If this is something that you're interested in, there are many, many things you can do. Um, this platform helps to monitor many activities having to do with your digital presence and your overall brand awareness. You're able to monitor SEO and the impact of that on your business. Online advertising is something you can monitor within the platform. You're able to see competitor analysis. What are your competitors doing? How are you performing in comparison? Content management. How much content is coming out? What's published? What's scheduled? What can I make sure that I do more of? Business listings. What do my directory listings look like? Is my information consistent across all platforms? Can I create that consistency if it's not there? Analytics. What is my website traffic? At Surefire, we don't make up metrics like a lot of other SEO companies where we tell you, oh, this is your visibility score or any other score that is not necessarily a metric that you find on Google Analytics. We love to go straight to the source. So visibility can mean a ton of things. We want you to understand what it is Google is measuring and how they are viewing you. So we know when we make changes, we are doing it to appease Google and make you easier to find. You're able to see repeat customers and also 24/7 report support. So working with a digital marketing strategist, you'll have access to someone who can work on things for you. If you have a question about the platform, or if you have a question about your strategy, or if you have a question about just what data is being reported and where, you have access to your digital marketing strategist, but you also have 24/7 support access through the platform as well. Referrals, social media, you're able to see how much traffic is coming through those channels. Review strategy, how many review requests are going out? What are you using to even send those review requests? How many reviews are coming in? Which ones have responses? You're able to see all that within the platform as well. And also lead management, of course. You're able to see how many people have called given a given time period. What did they call for? Listening back to those calls to figure out how they went, and also looking at chat and web form submissions that come in. Maybe there's an opportunity that you notice that you're getting a lot of phone calls for a particular service and you wish you got more for another. That could show us that there's an opportunity to create some changes. So having a tool in place that allows you to see all of this in an easy to understand dashboard takes out a lot of the work of creating a marketing strategy and instead just gives you the apparatus to have um, a a tool that allows you to take 10 minutes a day, come into the platform, do some duties, and be making significant strides in your marketing strategy. So, the benefits of an all in one local marketing solution is improved search engine rankings, increased productivity, more cost efficient marketing, better message coordination, consistency, and expanded local marketing expertise. Um, you want to make this as easy as possible. Creating a marketing strategy is expansive as you need it to be, as you want it to be. So you want to bring that, reel that back in into doable, actionable steps. Having a marketing tool or a all-in-one local marketing solution allows you to do that in some quick and concise ways without um, going without understanding your performance, where you are, what opportunities are available. So here's a quote from Muhammad Ali. I hated every minute of training, but I said, don't quit, suffer now, and live the rest of your life as a champion. Building and executing a marketing strategy isn't always going to be the most fun. There are a lot of times where it could get a bit frustrating, and that's where working with a marketing company comes in. Doing this on your own is something that is going to be really, really time comprehensive. And it's something that may feel a bit overwhelming because there's so much to consider when you're thinking about how to create a marketing strategy that works. So you want to be making this as easy as possible. Bring on tools that help. Bring on tools that give you time to create the the content that you need, that give you time to create the strategy that increases your performance and also helps you understand where you are and where you need to be. So that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you had a bit more information than you did coming in. And I'm going to turn this back over to Stephen.
Jade, thank you so much for taking us through all of these great tips and tools. There was definitely a lot to unpack, and you shared a ton of great insights for everyone here. Let me hide that. All right, there we go. So I would like to offer everyone now on with us the chance to learn more about how Surefire Local can help you, your team, and your business make all of what Jay discussed today easier and simpler. So I'm going to launch a poll, which you will see on your screen. Just let us know if you'd like to join Surefire for a one-on-one call to see what it's like to run your marketing on the Surefire platform. And if you're just not ready yet, that's okay too. Either way, we are just glad you came and spent the hour here with us. And if you are interested, we'll reach out to you after the webinar with next steps. This is just a great opportunity to explore an all-in-one marketing platform that uses AI learning, not found anywhere else, to make building your digital footprint just a lot easier and growing your business more efficiently. So I'm going to give this a moment before wrapping things up today. And Sandy, yes, you will receive the recording probably in about an hour in an email. So be on the lookout for that. All right, thank you to everyone who have cast their votes. So as we say goodbye, again, I want to thank you, Jade, for hosting today's chat, and also a huge thank you to all of you for taking this time out of your day to spend it with us. I hope to see you back on future webinars. And if you think of any questions after the fact or as you watch this replay, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can send us an email at marketing@surefirelocal.com. We're here to help. We want to help. And that's a wrap. So until next time, goodbye, everybody.